building.
Hey y'all, John Gann here and Tucker. What we're doing today, we are about to the end of our line for gravity flow, so we're going to stick a little pump in. We got a shut off valve here. We still got really good pressure. The pipeline goes about 200 more feet up there, and we got to a tank, and it works, but it's slowing down quite a bit. So we're going to push the pump in here. What we're going to try, we got a pressure switch off of like a regular well, and we got us a 12-volt pump. Hopefully we can make the pump and the pressure switch turn the pump on and off when our tank fills up. So what we're going to do, take this, we're going to plumb this together. We got us a fitting to go here, to go into the pipe, and then we will put the pump straight in the pipe. So first off, we'll put this together real quick. So what we're going to do, we just got to put our tape on. I think I'm going the wrong way with it. No. I think this will work. I've done some research. I'm really hoping, I don't see no reason why it shouldn't work. Put it that way. If it doesn't work, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do, because we're going to be out of options for water until we can get something figured out. And I want to be able to keep on moving water with them. I don't want to have to give them access to come back to water. One, because we're limited on our poly materials, and two, I don't want them coming back over all the other stuff.
Ellie?
She's fine. She needs a bath anyways. Ooh.
I don't even think there's very much water where she's at.
It's alright. And here we just got a little nipple. Just a connector between the two pieces. Wish I had a couple more of these small ones, but I didn't get them. What we're thinking about doing is seeing if the water doesn't start staying cooler. I'd like to find a smaller tank to keep water switched out more often, but we got some old hay and some old straw. We may bring some of that down here and
soak it
and put it over top of the line to help shade it from the sun. Just screwing all these together right now. Oh boy, there's some nasty in there.
What is it?
Just a bunch of gunk. Nasty.
Did you just buy this, or you had it?
I just bought them.
But did you use them already?
Nope, I bought them just for this.
And how are they nasty?
I guess must got gunk in them at just different places. And they've been sitting in the back of the buggy now for a week or so.
Mm. Didn't you buy them from Menards when we went to get that
Yep.
stuff?
Yep, that night we went and done it.
Mm-hmm. The night we went and did the pasture walk.
Yep. Sure did, baby boy. I like to use that blue, I don't know, it's Blue Demon or something, the tape. It's
Blue Monster?
Blue Monster, yeah. It's kind of a lot heavier tape, but I don't know where I've hid that at, so now we're back to the regular white stuff, which, I mean, the regular Teflon. It works just fine, too. It just seems like the Blue Monster's a little bit heavier duty.
Yeah.
So now we're going to put this last piece in, and all this here is just is just a T. It goes into our regular pipe, so we're going to do a little bit of cutting and stuff. But I think all this should work.
So how's that shut-off valve gonna stay together?
What do you mean, buddy?
That valve is gonna. How's it gonna stay up in the air?
You don't have to stay in there. We'll just lay it on the ground for now, but eventually we'll put it on a block or something to hold it up.
Like a stick or something to level it?
We'll just screw it to a block of wood. And then we got our pressure. We got us a gauge we're going to put on, just so we can kind of see and for setting the switch up and everything. I don't remember what PSI we bought on the pressure switch, but they say they can all pretty well be adjusted to whatever. And like, I don't know, I've seen a few videos where people have done stuff pretty similar to this for like watering orchards and stuff. Which some of that stuff, it wasn't near as important on working or not, so I hope this works. We may have to invest in a better pump.
Which that is a pretty nice pump. Isn't it? It's kind of small in real life, but
That's big enough for what we need
from
to do,
the
buddy.
camera, it looks a lot bigger, doesn't it?
So now we're going to hook our wires up. Just need to get that pump pulled out here real quick. Back up a little, buddy.
Okay.
This is all ready set up for hooking up to a battery.
You're gonna put like a.
So what we're going to do is
What battery are you gonna hook it up to?
right here.
Like a drill battery? Or?
No, battery right here, buddy. So probably what we'll do, what I'm looking at doing is probably cutting this right here, running one side straight in, and then hooking this up to the other side. Let's see what we got in here real quick.
When'd you buy that Leatherman?
This one you asked me about the other night, buddy.
When did you get it?
The other day, remember?
Oh.
Because originally, I think if it all ran together, we could just leave our black wire and just hook our red wire in there for the splitter, and I think would be just, I think that's all we need is just the one side.
My multi-tool has about the same amount of stuff on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. It may have a few more things on it.
Yeah. But that is a pretty nice little Leatherman. You just gotta hold down a button for the stuff to go in.
Yep. You watching your camera?
Yeah.
Make sure you're getting...
I'm filming.
Okay, good. So this is kind of
You
where
just
I
lost a bunch of screws.
I know, buddy. We probably won't be using them again anyways. So, looks like they've already done what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep the black the way it was. Okay, that's really simple. They're just simply...
You're not even gonna use that thing on the outside?
I'm not going to use a switch. No, I don't need it. We'll just hook this up inside of our pressure switch right here. And we'll leave the black wire
Where it is?
on the outside and just bypass it directly, and all we need is the hot in there to make contact. I've seen them hooked up both ways, but from what I read and watched, that it's really not necessary to have the black wire in there. You really just need the one on a system like this, from the best I can understand. Which I had to make a trip to town a while ago and get a few more parts to make everything hook up.
What parts did you get?
Just had to get some different fittings, Bubba.
Gauges and stuff?
No, I had to get some fittings.
Where'd you get that gauge?
We got it at Menards. Okay. Now let's pull the cover off this real quick.
Why are you gonna pull the cover off?
So we can put the wires up, buddy.
Is that what it's made to do? Take the cover off?
Yep. So, I was really hoping
What?
there may have even possibly been a spot in here to just hook these straight to. But there's not, so we'll just put them around. Okay. So, when that hits,
Actually, might be very easy to put on, Dad.
I think we hook the same ones up on, I think we hook hot here and hot here. And that way when they hit,
But don't you have to hold it down for the water to go?
nope. Just watch and I'll show you. Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
So I think this is going to work pretty good.
Smells like there's dead something back here, but it's just cubes. We need to clean it out.
I'm going to try to take this crimp off of here to save all the water, all the wire that is. How much is that, baby? Try and save all the wire that we can.
Doing surgery to something.
Pretty well. I'll tell you what, the more I use them, I'm really liking these multi-tools. They're so handy for doing all kinds of stuff, especially because you can crimp wires, you can strip wires. The new ones I bought have even got a place where you can put butt connectors on and has a place to do that with.
Cutting it off.
Nope.
Cutting off the wire.
Stripping it.
How come you're stripping it?
So I can hook it up in there. Hell, man.
What brand is my multi-tool, Dad?
Moss Yoke, I think, buddy. We are just about. I've kind of been going as long as I could without doing this because I thought it was going to be a pretty big ordeal. But it doesn't seem to be near as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
Mine probably has like a stripping tool in it, doesn't it?
Probably.
Looks like it was deeper than I thought where Ellie was, or she might have laid down.
Yep.
You never know what you run into with Ellie.
Sure don't, do you?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna run one of these wires in this side. Bring this up here, we'll hook it around. We'll run this down underneath our screw. Make sure we got good. Oh yeah, we got good contact there. I'm gonna strip off a hair more on this one. I probably should have done a little bit more on the other side, but it'll work just fine. So I need the screwdriver. Yeah, I do need the screwdriver. And from the best I can tell, I hooked it on the line and coming out, we're hooking on the same side. That way it'll make contact and go around. And we're gonna pray.
Well, about what?
That this works.
Yeah. Why didn't you put the wires through the holes?
Oh, good idea, buddy. I was supposed to. Thank you.
Okay.
Glad somebody's keeping track of me.
Then you couldn't have done the wires.
Nope, I'd had to redone it all, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Can you see I'm just running this around?
Dang, that scared me. I didn't know what that was. Sounded like a sonic boom.
Alrighty, now we'll screw this baby down. I should have put the wire another way, but it will hold this way just fine too. Now we're ready to go over here. Next step will be do a little bit of plumbing on her to get her where she needs to be.
How you gonna get over the fence with it on?
I'll just pull it right here to me.
Daddy, you want me to cut?
Do what?
Want me to cut it?
No, we're good. I got my bucket of goodies.
Goodies.
First, we're gonna unhook these crimps. All you do with these, just take the pliers, ow, and just twist, and they will kind of uncrimp themselves.
So right now is the water gauge off.
Do what, buddy?
So is the water gauge off right now?
Mean that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the water's turned off right now.
Good. As soon as you took it off, we'd have water all over ourselves and the pumps and the equipment. Ellie, now what are you doing? Ellie, get up here.
Fine.
Oh, she just got took in a bath
She's fine.
in the creek.
She ain't hurting nothing, dude.
I wonder if a phone from your hand can conduct electricity since it has metal in it. But it'd probably ruin the phone, wouldn't it?
Alright, so we're going to unhook this right here. We got some other fittings to put in here. We went to the parts or hardware store a while ago and got us some fittings, some adapters and stuff. The only thing that really kind of sucks about this is the fact... Crap, can I bring you a hose?
Where's it at?
It must be in the truck.
Maybe you'll run up there and get it?
Yeah, we'll run back in a minute and get it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go from this one. We're going to put this reducer in. Then I've got a bushing that goes from this to garden hose.
What? That goes to garden hose, Dad?
An adapter.
Oh.
And then we'll hook a hose up to that and a hose up to our pump. And we'll go from our pump back out to this. Can't believe I left that thing up there in the truck. Well, I can. But I wish I wouldn't have.
I can go around there and get it. You can film by yourself, Dad. Want me to?
No. Hey y'all, we're back. We got it hooked up. Sorry, we couldn't film a while ago when we got back up here. The phone was overheating due to the heat outside. But simply all we done, we just ran some connectors over. Had to splice in a little piece right there to go from to hook up to the pump back to the fittings for this. Then we just teed over into this. We put that valve there mainly as we was testing a while ago, and that way something happens we can shut it off. But here's our stuff. It's hooked up. We finally got it. I don't really know what we've done. We just fiddled around with it. At first, it wasn't kicking on and off. It's sitting there just surging. And we just messed with it a little bit, and it finally started working. I think we adjusted the pressures down enough. But it filled the water tank up. It ain't as fast, probably, as what it was coming straight out of the pond until we got over the ways. But now it's going to let us push water on further around. So it's going to work really good. It's really simple. We just have to see how our battery holds out. We'll have to get one more battery. We've been swapping between the fence. We had the two for the fence charger. So we'll have to swap that around. But that was pretty much all there was to it. It's just a little $40 Harbor Freight pump. I've seen some other ones. I seen one at Lowe's yesterday. Looked identical to it. Was it was a 110 volt. But I got one of those too. We use at work. Looked identical to the one at work, and it was over $100 and some, but it looked like the exact same pump as what comes from Harbor Freight. So I mean, this is pretty well all of it. Right now it says there's about 10 pounds on the line. Whenever the pressure lets off, it'll kick on. We'll check it in the morning. It seems like it's going to work. It was not near as hard as what I figured it was going to be. I'm still a little hesitant about how good this pump is or isn't going to work. We may have to get us a bigger pump, but eventually we should be having well water and stuff put in once we get on the program. But for now, this is working pretty well. So we'll just see how it goes, and we'll talk to you all later. Give us a like, subscribe, comment, and have a good weekend, and happy grazing.